Good morning from WKYT News. I'm Bill Bryant. We hope you're enjoying your weekend, and we welcome you to Kentucky Newsmakers. We have a busy edition to bring you this morning. A longtime Kentucky sheriff is turning in his badge and retiring after some 30 years in law enforcement. Anderson County Sheriff Troy Young has seen changes, and he'll be with us later. Also later, Alan Stein talks about a national honor for Commerce Lexington, who beat out chambers around the country for the way it promotes business in the Bluegrass. But first, an interesting fact. As the new school year begins, many of our districts are dealing with the fact that some of their students come from homes where English is not the primary spoken language. In Fayette County, where 41,000 students went back to school this week, about 18% of students speak a language other than English at home. In fact, there are more than 80 other languages spoken in homes in Lexington. How is the school system being sure those children are up to speed and that their parents can help them with their schoolwork? Joining us to talk about that are Michael Daly, who heads up Fayette County's English as a Second Language Department, and Jessica Sanchez, who is a district translator. We appreciate both of you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you.
The numbers really are amazing when you look at this. It means literally thousands of students in Lexington don't hear English spoken at home, and I guess when they leave for the day, that's the last time they really have a conversation in English when they leave school, right?
Oh, that's correct. That's correct. We have, I'd say about 10, 15 years ago, we were right around 1,500 students. We're over 5,700 students now, and as you mentioned, over 80 languages. So the opportunity to make sure every family and student has access to a quality education begins with removing the barrier of language. We want them to maintain their culture and their heritage language, and that's also an asset in today's global society, is to be able to become bilingual. But we want to provide an opportunity, provide initial access, just like you and I had when we went to school.
You want them to be able to, as you say, assimilate, but maintain their culture, and so that has to be a challenge as well.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But the important thing, I think, is the access and the opportunity for learning. Maintaining their heritage is, they bring that with them. We call that cultural capital, right? So when they come to our school system, we value their language, but we want to make sure that they have every opportunity for their children to succeed.
And Jessica, you brought along a poster that shows, that is, as I understand it, on display in many of the Fayette County schools, if not all of them, and it reminds parents, first of all, of how many languages there are and that they do have access to interpreters.
Yes, that is correct. We have this poster displayed at all of our schools and office facilities within Fayette County, and it does remind them and let them know that they have a right to an interpreter.
Each of these is a different language that is spoken?
Yes, we have about half of the languages here represented in this poster, but we have a little bit over 89 spoken languages.
I won't ask you to tell them all, but just a few of the languages that are spoken in Lexington that might be surprising to people.
Yes, we do have some of the top 10 languages are Arabic, French, Swahili, Japanese, Chinese. We also have Hindi, Urdu, among many other languages.
And so you have parents who are very eager to help their children, but in many cases this is a barrier to them, right?
That is correct.
And how do you address that?
We have multiple means of communicating with our families. Many of our families oftentimes request paperwork to be sent home in their native language, and we strive to meet that need. This year we have integrated a new service in Fayette County. It's called Language Line Services, and that service is just-in-time service. When somebody walks into a school and they do not speak English, for instance, say they Swahili-speaking family, and nobody at the school speaks Swahili or the office staff, a language line will provide us within less than a minute. We will be able to communicate with this family via phone interpreting services.
What other challenges other than language do these first-generation Americans face?
Well, I think part of it is acclimation or assimilation into our school system in the United States and in Lexington as well. Knowing where to go for services, how to navigate community and resources. We have a great partnership with the city government who provides wonderful community support to help families from a variety of countries. I think in the school system specifically, though, is making sure that their rights are maintained by saying that they have the right to have in their first language or their heritage language access to information. As they learn English, as they become more familiar with how our school system operates, making sure they have every opportunity. And when we say opportunity, not just to go to school, but these students come to us from a variety of countries. They've had a variety of experiences. So what other services are available to? Can they play on sports teams? Absolutely. Can they participate in clubs after school? Absolutely. Do they have opportunity to participate in some of our magnet programs? And we want to make sure that every opportunity that every child has that comes to Fayette County Public Schools, that is available to them first and foremost.
How often do children act as the interpreter for a family?
Well, oftentimes you'll see parents that will do that because that's who they know and they know they speak English, but actually the law says that we're not allowed to use students as interpreters. But oftentimes when they walk in, they will turn to their son or daughter and say, tell them I need this. And what we're trying to encourage is the school as well as the parent to say, you know, we need an interpreter. So Language Line gives us that just-in-time service. They can go in, they can point to the language that they speak, and in less than a minute they can have access to that interpreter. So we are wanting to make sure not just that we're following the law, but we're making sure every opportunity is on our part to create that welcoming environment at the school.
Tell us how that Language Line works then.
Yes, a family would walk into the school and we would direct them. We cannot communicate, so we would direct them to our poster. Say, for instance, they point to Hindi. We would call Language Line, be on the phone, and then let them know we need a Hindi interpreter. Within less than a minute, maybe 30 seconds, what I've experienced, if not less, we have a Hindi interpreter on the phone. And there are multiple means. We'd pass the phone back and forth, or we could do a speaker, and we'd be communicating with the family right then and there without having to schedule an appointment or have them come back.
So this is contracted somewhere, the interpreters are actually somewhere else, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a telephonic service that connects us with a variety of languages, and many of our interpreters are other places in the United States, and some are maybe in other countries, but they're all certified interpreters, so they follow a real strict protocol. They introduce themselves, they identify themselves not only by name, but they also identify themselves by an ID number, so that the requesting service, which would be Fayette County Public Schools, can identify the interpreter. They offer some wonderful amenities. They'll ask you, for example, is the client with you now? Are we speaking to them directly, or would you like for me to call them directly? So it has the opportunity to even put together a three-way call. So say, for instance, you know, we've had parents who get that phone call that says, you know, your son or daughter's not feeling well at school. At that time, we would use Language Line then to connect them to the home, get in touch with that parent, and say, you know, tell them if they're not feeling well, if they need to be picked up or something like that. So again, that just-in-time service.
So whatever the matter, whether it's a disciplinary matter, a lesson matter, as you said, a health issue or whatever, this is an opportunity that they can speak directly with the school, and as you say, that is required, that you have to have that interpreter.
Absolutely. It's a part of federal law and the just-in-time service. And we're starting it out this year. We have other services. We have interpreting services that Jessica uses, where we have face-to-face interpreters that come to help with those school meetings and progress reports and things like that. And you really want a face-to-face interpreter to work direct with the parent, and we provide training to all our interpreters that are here locally. But yeah, that just-in-time service is something that extends the opportunity to welcome all families and all students to our school.
You've both been in education many years. Do you find that people are surprised by the diversity within public schools today?
Always, always. Even our interpreters, they are surprised. They were not, when they come in and they ask, we had our annual training a couple of weeks ago for all of our interpreters in the district, and they were surprised to find out we have that huge of a diversity at our schools.
Yeah. So you do have interpreters who are actually working within the system as well.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We also contract with them locally, and they provide services like, for example, Jessica arranges the school will request, we need an interpreter for this particular event, for this particular day. It might be a meeting, progress report. But at the beginning of school, with so many families bringing their children to school, elementary, middle, and high, many schools request interpreters, and so they act as our ambassadors, welcoming children to school, helping parents fill out paperwork, making sure that the parents understand that they can request an interpreter. It's part of the package, and our new superintendent, Superintendent Cogg, is really supportive of making sure, again, that every child, every family has access to our school, and it's a welcoming environment. And so he's big behind this. It's a part of his blueprint for student success.
All right. Well, here's to a good school year. Thank you for coming in. Very eye-opening. We appreciate the information.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Keep it here now on Kentucky Newsmakers. We'll be back with Alan Stein on a prestigious award for Commerce Lexington. And later, a Kentucky sheriff steps down after decades of chasing down the crooks and helping out his community. We're coming back on WKYT. Welcome back in. It's Kentucky Newsmakers on WKYT. A national award for Commerce Lexington. The Association of Chamber of Commerce Executives gave the award to the Lexington Business Group. They beat out chambers of commerce from Brooklyn, New York, Jacksonville, Florida, and Tacoma, Washington. Commerce Lexington's president, Bob Quick, says it recognizes people who work hard every day to strengthen Central Kentucky. The Chamber's chairman this year is longtime Lexington businessman Alan Stein. Stepped in to tell us about this honor, and I appreciate you coming in. I know you want to congratulate, first of all, the Commerce Lexington team.
You know, our staff is so professional, so great. We are very fortunate to have people like Bob Quick in our leadership role, Linda Bobrowski, who was part of presenting for this award, and the entire staff. I think we took 7 people to Savannah for this award, but it is an absolute team effort. We've got well over 200 years of chamber experience on our staff, and it shows every day.
Alan, do people realize all the aspects that the Chamber of Commerce is involved in, really in bettering the community in one way or the other?
Bill, I can assure you that they don't. I've been on and off the board of the Lexington Chamber of Commerce in all its different iterations since 1976. And I can assure you that when I stepped into the role as chairman, there were a lot of things that I didn't even know we were doing. All over Lexington and Central Kentucky, and even regionally, the impact of the chamber is dynamic, and it's important for our growth.
How important is it that they operate as a team with the school systems, with the universities, with employers, as well as you know, the various business interests?
We represent all of those facets of Lexington and Central Kentucky because the economy draws from each one of those sectors, whether it be education or business or any type of commerce, local or abroad. Our chamber is there to support and advocate and help us grow as a community.
Alan, you're a townie. You've seen Lexington grow over the years, and it has managed to not only remain attractive to business and to people moving in. We see the growth, which is continuing to be tremendous, but also seems to have a good future. What is the edge that Central Kentucky seems to have?
Well, one of the great edges that we have is natural. Our beauty, the horse farms, the charm of Lexington. Every community will tell you that they have great people, good work ethic, but it is absolutely true here in Fayette County. And I would tell you that over the years, the Chamber, working with local leaders in government, have understood that that brand is really important, and people are drawn to it. We have some natural advantages, but we can't be passive about them. We have to go out and tell the story and always maintain that brand as something of a signature. And the Chamber and our local government leaders do that very well.
When you were growing up, when I started the career here, more businesses were locally owned. The decisions were more often made locally. How big of a challenge is it now that you are having to communicate with companies that may be headquartered elsewhere?
You know, that's a great question, Bill. You know, when I was younger, I was president of the local restaurant association back in the mid-70s, and it was made up of almost all independent operators. Over the years, rapidly, it changed to large conglomerate companies, franchises, national corporations, and you lost a lot of the local touch. Thankfully, at least in that sector, we are now going back to a very strong and dominant restaurant industry of independence here in Lexington, and that is a microcosm of all of the businesses that we've had here, whether it be utilities or banking, financial, real estate, whatever they are. There is less less of a local touch, but it's still local people doing the work and taking the leadership roles. So you have to work through that for sure. Not every national company has the same love and passion for our community that local people do. But generally speaking, they get on board pretty well.
And generally that means success for them if they do become
absolutely
meshed with the community, right?
You are absolutely right
How
about that.
do you think Commerce Lexington will celebrate this national award?
Well, since this is airing after this afternoon's arrival, we are gathering lots of folks, our board, our ambassadors, our winner's circle people, all from the chamber to surprise the team that won the award at the airport this afternoon. We're going to play "We Are the Champions" and banners and balloons and all that kind of stuff. But winning this award really does have impact because we are such an attractive community for out-of-town businesses, visitors, investments. This is one more arrow in our quiver, and we're going to be very aggressive about spreading this word of excellence. You know, this is the third consecutive year that we've been a finalist for this award, which is unprecedented. We're up against all the big, we're in the largest category, so against all the big cities around the United States. It's a huge award in our industry, and we're very proud of it, and we're going to let Lexington know how proud we are.
Alan Stein, thanks for coming by. We really appreciate it, and congratulate the folks at Commerce Lexington for us.
I certainly will. Thanks, Bill.
And we're back in just a moment. Sheriff Troy Young stepping down after decades in law enforcement. He's leaving at midterm. We'll ask him why and how things have changed in law enforcement on WKYT's Kentucky Newsmakers. Welcome back to Kentucky Newsmakers on WKYT. After more than 30 years in law enforcement, Anderson County Sheriff Troy Young has decided at midterm that it's time to go. He's stepping down as sheriff on September 1st. Times have changed over the decades since he first became a dispatcher as a teenager in the radio room, but service to the community has been a love of his life and that of his family as well. And Sheriff Young stopping by to tell us about why he's decided to hang up the handcuffs. It's good to see you.
Thank you. Bill. It's an honor to be here.
Well, we appreciate you coming in very much. Sheriff of the Year in 2011, elected by your local community 3 times, obviously very popular. Why are you retiring at midterm?
You know, it's one of those times. A friend of mine that just retired as federal marshal, he said, you get up one morning and you look in the mirror and say, it's time to go. And I've dealt with a fractured foot since back in December, and looking at the future of it, and I think it's time to step back and put my feet up. I had a bucket list. I've accomplished everything that I wanted to on that. The people of Anderson County have been great and supportive, and it's time for a change.
You have obviously enjoyed, as we said, the support of the community. You started as a 15-year-old?
15. I was hired by Craig Birdwhistle, who was a sergeant for the city police then, and I actually rode my bike to work as a dispatcher, which is kind of unheard of now because telecommunications has come such a long way, and of course 15, they wouldn't allow that now. And I worked in the radio room through high school and college, worked for the state police for a year in the radio room, but once I turned 21, of course I was itching to get out and go to the academy, in which I was fortunate to be hired locally by our city police and spend 5.5 years with them.
12 years now as the elective sheriff. What an awesome responsibility that is in the county as the chief law enforcement officer in the county, the collector of taxes as well. But it's also given you an opportunity to do a lot in the community as well. You
know, we are very community based as far as the sheriff's office, and you know, as far as being elected, you're as good as the people are around you. And I'm very fortunate to have a tremendous family. My wife and I, Benita, we have triplet sons who are very involved with the community in the sheriff's office, and their daughter-in-law, actually our daughter-in-laws, and the office itself. We hire people that are local, they live local, they shop local, their kids go to the local school, so they're very community involved, and you couldn't ask for a bunch of nicer men and women that serve their community the way they do.
How important is it in these days especially, that law enforcement be close to the community, that you understand who you're policing and that they have respect for law enforcement?
Absolutely. It means a lot if you're shopping local, and most of the time, one of the days I was off, if I run into someone at the grocery store or a department store, they can stop you, they recognize you, they tell you what's going on in their neighborhood or a problem that they're having. And the same way with the deputies, because they're out in the community, they're known, and of course they deal with things on and off duty all the time. So it's very important to stay local, and be involved in the community.
Is it more likely, Sheriff, if you personally know people and have relationships, that they will tell you more about what's going on when investigations are underway?
Absolutely. You know, especially with as much as the deputies are out, we're 209 square miles, a lot of rural roads and everything, and they invest in the community and where they live as far as their neighbors, and they're spread throughout the county and into the city and everything. And we're very fortunate to have the men and women that serve with us there in Anderson County.
What are officers and deputies facing out there today when they get those calls from your 911 dispatch center? It's got to be a situation where the adrenaline is flowing. They don't know exactly what they're pulling up on. What are they dealing with? You
know, the scary part about it, we have a wonderful working relationship with the state police, Fish and Wildlife, the Lawrenceburg City Police, but with a department our size, and we've grown over the years, but still the amount of area that we cover, and sometimes we may be 20, 25 minutes away, and you're single deputy per car. You're going into situations that you have no idea. Sometimes your backup may be 5 minutes away, or it might be 30 minutes, or you may not have backup. So it's pretty scary. A lot has been put on law enforcement over the years as far as unfunded mandates, and it's making it tougher that as things flow downhill, a lot of times we have to catch it, and we're the ones having to deal with it, and it makes it tougher.
What are you proudest of in your tenure as sheriff?
Wow, that's quite a question. Probably that everyone's gone home safe. There's not a night that goes by that I don't wake up and worried about our first responders, whether it be our fire, our EMS, or law enforcement, that everyone gets home safe, that we've been involved with the community, and a lot of the programs that we do, our DARE program is still up and running strong, that we started 27, 28 years ago. I know a lot of times funding cuts other DARE programs, but being involved in the schools, back when I was in school, if a police officer walked in, everybody thought you did something wrong. Nowadays, our office has 2 SROs that are assigned to the schools, and we're part of the community, we're part of the school system. And it makes it nice that the kids can come up and interact with the SROs, and they have someone there they can trust.
What can be done better, do you think? Is it more money that law enforcement needs to do a better job, or is there something that you see as you end your tenure that would be a fix and a better situation for law enforcement? You know,
of course, money is always going to be an issue, especially in a county our size, and we're very, very fortunate. We have a tremendous working relationship with our fiscal court. They've always been very supportive of our needs, but it's also very tough. If you need more people, you have to raise taxes. If you raise taxes, that's negative. So we're a fee office, so we basically make our own budget, and a lot of it is commission from taxes and other small items like serving papers and things like that. So you're kind of in a catch-22. You need more people, but you can't afford more people. But the more need of service that comes through, you're expected to be there more. And with all the problems facing law enforcement, with the increase in drug use, a lot of drugs resurfacing, it's making it really tough on law enforcement. And you can say training, but you know, we have tremendous training academies, and keep up with training. But it's a real catch-22. More people would definitely help.
Does it still make sense to have the sheriff collect the taxes and also run the basically the county police department?
You know, I was fortunate in 2005 to combine our county police with us, and there's only 3 county police agencies in Kentucky now that are rather large and do a tremendous job. I would rather collect taxes than run the jails. I'll tell you that. Kentucky's one of the few that that we're not over the jails, and I've told our local jailer she can keep that as long as she wants. I'll continue to collect taxes.
But we note you're leaving before tax season, right?
Yes, sir. That's one of those times that if you're going to leave, you do it before tax season and not during tax season.
What is next for you?
Get healed up, kick back, relax a little bit. Wait on my wife to retire that's sitting out there. So enjoy. I have a 4-year-old granddaughter and another grandson on the way. I look forward to spending a lot of times and playing with a lot of Play-Doh with the grandkids. All
right. Sheriff Troy Young, we really appreciate you coming in. Appreciate the way you've been so helpful to us through the years when you could be on stories. And thanks for coming by.
Thanks, Bill.
We want to thank you for joining us for this edition of Kentucky Newsmakers on WKYT. We'll have the latest for you bright and early this week on WKYT This Morning. We start at 4:30. Don't forget mid-morning at 10. And, of course, WKYT News at noon. We hope you make it a good week ahead.